All right. Okay, cooking with gas. Here we go. What a day, what a day, what a day. Hope everybody's having a great day. There's a hug. Never gets old. Never gets old. Another day in paradise. Chris, you took it out of my mouth. Man, that was quick. That was great. Real strong right there. Real strong. Wouldn't you believe it? The internet's working today. Man, that was a interesting outage for everyone that was in the service area. And it's another day in paradise, though. Another day. Enjoyed a good time reading a book. And it's really good, actually. So we'll really get turned on and starting up here in 5 minutes. But it's just you guys. Just again, just make sure you're getting your homework done. Most importantly is what's that macro trend, and then to think, and Chris, this is the decision matrix. Then to think, how can that intraday minor trend move to help me trade with the macro trend, or you might say the macro trade. So that's kind of the thinking that you're running into. All right. So we'll go through some things. Oh, okay, here we are. Sorry, everybody. We are back. I was just talking out into space. Hey, just maybe do a mic check 1 2 3. Maybe type in 1 2 3 if that's okay. Just triple checking because I remember last time we were having fun talking to no one for like 10 minutes. Well, if you have left the computer and are currently walking your cat, I completely understand. Maybe we'll do a mic check 1 2 3 a little bit later. Oh, Chris Ponce, click on the draw. Gotcha. Thanks, Chris. So, I'm sorry, Chris. Chris from Morrisville. Forgive me of that betrayal. And so, I was just saying, man, I love looking at charts, and I started looking at charts at a very basic level at like 7 or 10 years old. And then I found out that one could use the skill of technical analysis. And at that time, and you remember I'm very young, I thought you would do that being a stockbroker. And a stockbroker's job is to be more like a financial planner, like get the plan of XYZ customer and invest wisely to achieve those end goals. And I was like, man, I really like that. So I get to look at charts and I get to do all this stuff and just help people. Man, I'm all about it. So, you know, put everything together, go to college, start interning. So I was interning at a prestigious brokerage, and it comes out that nobody in that brokerage firm knew how to look at a chart. They didn't look at charts at all. And I thought, man, that is wild. That is just, like, they don't even know how to read a chart. Like, what we're looking at right here, minus the website, they would never even know how to analyze this chart. So it's a very powerful tool and kind of brings a sense of peace. I mean, to me, when I look at the charts. All right, well, welcome back. Let's just go through some fun. So, of course, I'm going to go Forex Factory, nothing, right? I don't really have to worry about Wednesday at 2 p.m. Thursday, Friday. So, pretty quiet week, okay? So that's done. I don't think I need to look at that anymore. And check out Yahoo Finance just real quick. Look at this gal. She looks, I don't know, she kind of looks concerned. Dow, S&P, NASDAQ futures extend losses. Well, no wonder she looks concerned amid U.S.-Iran tensions. Okay. So the question now is, in the early morning, are we going to continue this sell-off? Okay. That's going to be the question. Now, let's circle back to this in just a minute. Okay, Asia's down. Europe is up. All right, so we're going to be really watching our goose this morning. And the word of the day today is patience. That's the word of the day today. I realized from my last few streams, but the most immediate one, I wasn't patient. I mean, that was one of the things. And then also I actually, if you go back and read it, because I know I did, I was actually reading things incorrectly, which is unlike me. But then reading things correctly, but overall reading things incorrectly. So that's unlike me, but that's okay. That happens. Just step back, readjust, and move forward. And so this morning, we really got to think to ourselves, all right, if we're going to go down, how far are we going to go down early this morning just to stop, turn around, and go up? So really think to yourselves right now, Globex trap, if that makes sense. However, if the macro trend is down, so like if you guys are on the Russell, specifically the daily, you'll see that the Russell is trumpeting the idea of going downward. So don't want to fight against that. I want to go with it. All right. So just recognize there'll be volatility on the open. Most likely the markets are going downward. So word of the day is patience. Just remember that. All right. So we'll leave this here. Maybe this will update later. Then I'll go to FinViz and just overall just lightly see kind of what's going on. Honestly, guys, I would think that we rally, filling gaps, hit the gap fill, and then we trade down. So if that's like what I'm thinking, depending on where we open, inside or outside, I'm going to allow it to fill the gap, base, justify, and then when it starts to drop, that's when I'll try to take an entry idea. So that's probably my game plan as of right now. Actually, maybe this is just kind of fun to leave up here so you guys can hang out. I'll hang out with this nice gal right here. Okay. If that makes sense to you, or if you maybe have a question, feel free to write that in. But as of right now, I'm really focused this morning on my main macro charts. Okay, I'm focused on getting that 30 done. I'm really focused on my daily. And then the bottom left-hand corner chart, for those of you that are in flagship, you should know what that means. Okay. So it's just a time of peace right now. Just a time of peace for you guys to get your homework done. Take your time. Nothing fancy. We're just looking to get it done. That's all, okay? So we're not going to talk too much. Okay? So just make sure that you are, first off, just think to yourself, man, I got all the time in the world. Get this homework done. It's another day in paradise. Your question that you want to ask yourself is, where's the path of least resistance? Is there anything in my way? So just remember, if things keep going down, then eventually they're going to run into something to do with demand. Wow. All right. So this morning, like, I was looking more at the Russell favorably, but I just came over to the ES, and that's looking favorably. And we're just going to be really, really patient. That's all. Today's word of the day is patience. And if you know how to spell that, it starts with P-A-Y. P-A-Y. So again, you got all the time in the world. Take your time. Really start to feel out that macro chart, that macro sense that you have. Um, because I know it's there, I went to the 360 chart on the ES on the daily. So I changed the daily to 360 because I know there's something there. So I'm drawing my daily chart. Actually, I'm drawing it from a 360 perspective. And then I'm just switching it back over to the daily chart. So one thing else to say that normally trees don't grow to the sky. So we have, sold off pretty well. And I would want the market to go up this morning. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the market to go up this morning. And I'll put some things together. So if it goes up this morning, I want to be able to sell at a expensive price. Shift Q. Now, the market's gonna tear. You can use that 5-minute to assist you, okay? So it's still the same game plan. Let this rally up, and then the goal would be to take it back down. Okay, that's the goal. So let's be patient on that. So it's like the S&P or the Russell might be your more, if it makes sense to you, if you guys look at those charts, you can more think about trading that. Wow. So the ES is outside, right? Hmm. And I tell you what, I was really getting ready to go short, but I'm timing it up right now. Because it's kind of like an outside day, you might flip yourself to a 2-minute chart. So my game plan is to go short here on 350. We're in it. Just gonna move some things randomly to where they need to get to. Um, and I just decided to do it on the Dow just because it looked the cleanest. Let's see what happens. I might close it out early. Okay. Because there's still that gap fill area, but it looked like a good opportunity. If this is gonna hold, it's gonna hold. Only thing is on a 5-minute chart, on the other guys, there's a lot of just junk all over the place. Mm-hmm. Okay. So on that, the timing is just off on that. So we're not jumping down there. That's fine. So again, just gonna let this rally up, fill some gaps. That's the key there. Hmm. Now, if you're thinking about going short, you might think it's rallying up into a supply zone area, which would be completely okay to think that. Hmm. So this morning's structure, this is the key moment. Okay, this morning's structure is downward. So don't forget that. The daily is also changed to down. Okay, perfect. So just allow any rallies this morning. We're looking more to short them. Okay. On the ES, potentially you could already be short. Actually, I think I'm going to go short on the ES here in a second. But it's just a little bit, it's like 10 points of volatility. So probably naturally go down to the micro chart and look to trade that. I'm really kind of favoriting the Dow Jones here because I like because it's closest to rally and fill in some gaps there. We really we want some commitment here. That's really what we want. So I'm okay with it rallying, me not participating in that. and then trying to sell short later in the day. That's like the idea here. Okay. First trade today got a little bit wrong. I stopped myself out ahead of time. And there goes the Dow Jones. All right. So the Dow is just filling its gap there. Man, that's really annoying if that doesn't work with us. Five. So I kind of want to play this two ways. I mean, the more conservative way is to do a flagship trade here. Then the other one is to play off of the gap fill, which is kind of what I'm doing. But we got buying pressure right now in the market, so it's, it's missing my entry. If that closes correctly, then we're gonna go short. So, Carlos, I know you're not here, but this is when you would start to anticipate this. Yeah, I think our timing's good, so we're gonna go. Now, when you enter, you should always move your stop first, but if this thing goes, then 5 minutes. Well, the good, bad, and ugly of this is, one, we did good getting in. Two, the stop, I don't like, on the Dow Jones, I don't like exactly where my stop is, because it's in that gap fill-ish area. Okay. And I'm not really willing to risk more than 250, 270 on this. I mean, if this was the first trade of the day, then it'd be a little bit different. So you're just gonna be patient. There's nothing actually to change about anything. Mm. 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 Yeah, the stop is just not in a good location. Well, that's how it is right now. All right, so it's 10. So 30 minutes into the market, it's just a straight up doji. Some buying pressure. On the 10-minute too, it's a doji, and that's not really good for us. Um, we're getting kind of some conflicting patterns yet again, right? I mean, what's new? Every time I stream, it's always a conflicting pattern. The Dow is going up, and then everything else is whatever. So I can't do anything about it. If this thing doesn't want to play nicely in the next 5 minutes, then that's a different situation. If it goes above 53,495, it's the trade's pretty much dead. So I'm just gonna move the stop down to there, 53,495. Just gonna put it one tick above. And, it's either gonna respect it, play nice, or it's gonna go up, stop me out. To save me a few, what, 70 to 20, $50 kind of thing. But I'm gonna try to really, I'm gonna try to sit here for like a super easy trade later on. And if that's 11, 12, or even 1, I'm just gonna sit here looking for it. That's all. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. You never know. Okay, there we go. So, hey, things happen. It's gone back up into that area. So I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to do this morning. I'm gonna revisit this a little bit later. I mean, we are rallying. At this moment, We're going up. All right. But that doesn't mean we're going to go up for the whole day. That's the thing. On your 3-hour chart, the ES or even, well, really the Dow, they're clearing out orders down there. So when we're going short, we're really looking for that commitment behind the trades. But this morning, we really are just going, again, sideways. You know, that's kind of funny. Let me get chopped up in the sideways. That's all right. So now we just really more focused on that high probability trade. Okay. I'm not going to sit in trades just to get stopped out in them. So, now what's going to be upsetting is if this Dow trade now wants to work. What I'm going to do to help my patients, Anthony and Chris, if you're still with us, because I got it wrong like 2 times on the 5-minute, and that's going to happen. I'm just going to go back to the 10, and I'm really going to focus on 10 minutes now. And it's okay in the morning to, feel empowered and look for that trade and then trade it. That's okay. But to keep pounding the drum aggressively, that part's not okay. So I'm just going back to the 10-minute, and I'm gonna literally just relax here on the 10-minute. Probably gonna do one more trade today. Another weird item is we opened outside. We open outside. Oh man, I just hate this. It goes back, it fills its gap on the Dow. Try to play that. And it's just been, ever since then, instead of like going down, it's just been meandering. I mean, it's seriously thinking about going down. It's thinking about it. And as you guys know, I don't allow my trades to think. You look at the ES, it's just going sideways here. The Russell is of a jumble. The Russell is a jumbling. So the Nasdaq's kind of dancing around a demand area. The Russell still has more room to go down. The ES has just recently broke its low, and now it's literally doing nothing. the structure of the market is down, but it's going sideways. So we don't want to really think about buying, even if it starts to rally. We still don't even want to think about buying because we know that the structure and the big move is to the downside. And for me to be wrong on the Dow as many times as I have in the past few days and trading, trying to trade in the chop, um, that's not good. What's the word? That's not good form, I would say. So there might be, for me personally, there might be something for me off on the Dow Jones. Like me and the Dow may not be friendly right now. I need to recognize that about myself, and then choose to do the right thing, and that might even be walk away from it. Actually, I do see a nice trade on the Russell. It's gonna take a little bit of time to develop, but there is a trade on it. Man, that sucks. All this stuff, and then up here is that gap fill, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So yep, here we go. Okay, so now the market, now it's moving like it should have been this morning. But I'm just gonna leave it alone. Like I'm really gonna only trade off of this 10-minute chart. That's it. So if I don't actually see a trade off of the 10, then I'm not gonna produce a trade. And there is a trade on the Dow. The question now is, do I want to do it or not? Wow, the high of that market was literally my stop to the tick. That's funny. I really don't want to risk 350 bucks considering I'm not trading at my peak performance. So, just going to leave it alone. It's shoot. It's 10:13-ish, and depending on what time you joined us today, it's good to be here with you guys. Um, oh, look, Carlos has arrived. People were wondering where you were. They thought you gave up, Carlos. It's a good time. You can literally get a refresher. I'm gonna stick with this. Just gonna look for an easy, like a really easy trade. So this might be an elongated trading day today. Oh, sorry, Chris. 30 minutes. Down. 30 minutes says, I don't know what I want to do, but I got some buying pressure behind me. And really, Chris, if you look to that 3 hour, that's really saying, yeah, we got some buying pressure here. So out of all of the indexes, the Dow is the strongest. And yes, I knew that, and I'm going short on it. Because for me, the picture of the Dow looked okay. But it was the strongest, 30 minutes indecision, and then also a 3 hours buying candle. Not super great. But if you look at everything else is basically throwing the middle finger at the Dow Jones. So that's not supposed to happen. And that's been happening as of late with everything. So meaning like the Russell goes down and the Dow just does whatever it wants. That's not supposed to be happening. Same thing right now with the S&P 500. It's not safe to trade right now. I mean, look at the S&P on the 10-minute chart. That's just not a good trading. That's this morning. That's what you have. That doesn't look good. I mean, how am I supposed to buy that? How am I supposed to sell that? I mean, you could. Of course you can. But it doesn't look rosy. Doesn't look easy. Where's my steps, Anthony? Same thing over here. This is the Dow. Like, where's my steps? I connected some dots this morning, sure. But this volatility, this bullish pressure, didn't play so well for me. So, just going to leave it where it is. Okay. Now, if you kind of want to go counter, that would be producing a buy trade. The idea, like this morning, could have been a buy trade to the gap fill. But even that wasn't safe. Because right now, like this right here, this is filling that Dow gap. So that's the .D chart. So I'm really actually curious to see what 11 a.m. is going to bring us. I'm curious what 12 noon will bring us. I'm curious what 1 p.m. will bring us. I'm curious about all that. So I'm going to stay patient in my trade. My trading self, like my trading sense. Stay patient, and I'm really focusing on that 10-minute chart. I'm not even going to look at a 5-minute chart. This morning, we tried to do that, and being a little bit too aggressive is not is not a great idea, especially in the summer months. So so I'm just going to sit on my 10. That's going to be my entry model today from this point forward. And if I don't see a textbook trade, then I'm not going to place the trade. It's got to be textbook. Everything that I've ever trained you guys on, and you guys know that works, and we know it works because Carlos is doing it, Anthony is doing it, Keith is doing it, everyone from the trading pod yesterday, you guys did it. It's just got to be more, for me, right now, just got to be more patient. That's the key word, patient. So, we're not out of the game. We're not even upset. It's just hard market to facilitate. I mean, if we were to even go to the RTY, look at that. Like, literally, look at that. Man, you guys have no clue how much I want to trade this. But I can't, and I won't. The good news about the RTY is it is down. I think the NASDAQ is the number 1 down. Then the Russell is second down. So let's see here. I don't feel so bad then. I'm traveling. Yes, Carlos, you're traveling. Oh, yeah, no, Chris, don't feel bad. Don't ever let these charts make you feel bad. These charts don't know what they're doing. Oh, what's the... Here, let me tell you a quote. It'll make you feel even better. So we're in the summer slowdown. Trading volumes and market activity often drop during the summer vacation months, aka sideways, Chris. Historically, from November, we've already talked about that, to April, the stock market is historically stronger, or you might even say more aggressive during those times. So the old adage is sell in May and go away is is what I wanted to share with you. Meaning, really focus on some easy setups. That's really what it's trying to say to you. Because the majority of this summer months, especially trading indexes, I mean, I might just start trading currencies, tell you the truth. If this is going to keep going on, then, I don't want to be anything a part of it. So, 30-minute chart on that Dow is exactly what you thought it was. It was so weird that you said, hey, what am I looking at? And you weren't looking at anything of interest. Steps washed away right now. Anthony, I like that. That's a good idea. All right, now, we might be down, but we're not out. Okay, I got 10 points I could pull out on the Russell if this thing wants to work with me. Problem is that there's this low sitting right there, and I don't like that. But we do have this chart in our sights. honestly, I would like to trade it at like 30.46 right here. But if this closes correctly, then I'll see if I can't afford it. Actually, I can't afford it. Okay. Actually, no, I'm like thinking. Let me read what Chris said. 3 hour and the 30-minute both had buying candles. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call them buying candles, but I know what you mean. It had buying. The 3 hour is not closed yet, so that's 12 noon. But you're good on that. In the 30-minute, you're right. It had some buying pressure, but that's just a doji candle. Okay. So, like the 10 a.m., or I don't know what kind of charting service you have, but for me, it's the 10 a.m. candle close. Like the last candle that closed on your chart, that's just a doji, and it's got some buying pressure to it. Let me jump over here to Chris. So, right now we can talk because I'm waiting for some stuff to show its hand. I got this Beatles song in my head right now. Alright, so Chris, I changed myself to a 3 hour chart. Now you were talking about 7 a.m. Hold on a second. So for me, it's like a 6 a.m. close. If this is what you're kind of like talking about, yeah, you had your buying pressure there. Yeah. All right. The 12 noon candle, gotta wait for that to close. I don't know how it's gonna close, so I couldn't tell you. 30 minutes. That's just a straight up chop and slop wickiness and not a friend to gentle trading. Not a friend to high probability trading. Not a friend. So Carlos, we're just slowing things down. We're really I'm really focusing on a textbook trade. Either it's going to come from the 10-minute or the 30, and that's it. And more than willing to hang out here for a longer time, but I'm literally, if it doesn't appear on those charts, then I'm not even interested at it. This morning I got a little slap on the hand on the 5-minute, so that's just telling me, hey, something's off. Nothing wrong with the play. Nothing wrong with the play. I know the play is high probability. I know that. That's the whole reason of trading it. It's just at this moment, we're not getting any traction. We're not getting any traction. Okay. So the structure of this is downward. Let me look back. Good morning, traveling. I don't feel so bad, Ben. Sorry. Candle. Okay, I took that 30-minute candle. It's a buyer wick. Yeah, it's just overall sideways though. Carlos said, got it. All right. Very good. Yeah, let me show you guys FinViz, and then we'll look at FinViz, and then you guys just take like a 5-minute break, okay? Well, actually, no breaks, because 10:30 is about to pop up. So you see that? You know, that's, again, that's what's catching us. You know, I gotta ease off, ease off. The NASDAQ, just looking here, starting to turn up. The Dow Jones, I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. Oh my goodness, who would... I'm over here taking a haircut in the Dow. Look at me trying to trade that thing. And we were trading it up there at the highs, but even that volatility came back and got us. You know, at some point, I don't need to be a part of that. Hey, I will get stopped out. I'll stop myself out. That's what I did today. Quickly, boom, boom. Then I'll re-enter. I'll get it back. Like, if you're wondering my psyche, there is no question or doubt that I will get everything back plus some. And I'm not being greedy about that at all. It's just I've been like I've gone through this before. So it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really affect me so much. If you're a new trader, yeah, that could affect you. But for me, I'm not even being stubborn. I just know how these probabilities work out, and it's my job to keep playing those probabilities. However, I can choose the market that I'm trading. Like, I don't need to be trading the Dow. I might seriously be walking away from the Dow. I don't know yet. But I might be looking for what's that book? Blue Waters, not Red Waters. That's kind of funny. But Blue Waters, kind of looking for a easier chart. And I don't want to just keep throwing good money after the wickiness of a Dow Jones. However, I'm still on the Dow. I'm still looking on it. Okay. I do have a trading signal from the Dow since the beginning of this morning. It just reinitiated, and the question here now is, you know, do we take it? The answer is no. I'm not doing it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't like how that 30-minute candles range is. I don't like that. There's so, I mean, Chris, if you go and look at the ES, I'm talking to Chris individually. If you go look at the ES, those last two candles sitting there, you know, those are not good candles. Those are sideways junk. And again, I'm completely 100% A-OK that we get some rallies coming in here, because I need it to rally so I can sell it short later. I need that. So, all right, so 10:30 didn't help us out at all. I gotta get this Beatles song out of my head. This is like killing me. I can hear John Lennon singing. Oh, all right. I gotta find it now. I think the call. I don't want to get this song in you guys' head either. Yeah. All right. Don't Let Me Down. That's the song. that's currently stuck in my head. Don't let me down. So, all right, we got this nice rally. That's fine. Okay. It's actually a good thing. So, it might rally all the way to 11, 12, whatever, 1, and then go crashing down. So, we'll see. I mean, that's the game plan here, okay? And so, if you want to be a buyer of the marketplace today, um, out of all of these indexes, you would more be looking at the Dow Jones to be a buyer. Oh my goodness, did I use the B word? I did. Chris loves to buy things. Let's see here. Oh, Debbie's here. Long, long ago, Debbie. Debbie had this awesome condo in Uptown Charlotte that I watched different individuals try to take care of it for her. And she got stopped out a few times by those individuals. I never picked up the phone and called her and say, yo, we could take care of that for you. One reason out of respect for her, I knew her and I didn't want her to, whatever. But anyways, really nice condo, great area, right next to that big pink building. I think she used to walk to the Panthers game, so a big fan of Panthers. And now she's in beautiful Sunnyside, Florida. So we and she did finally find the right person, and she's very happy. Her husband's very happy. Everybody's very happy. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful condo, and I loved it so much. I loved it so much. I never even let her know how much I loved it. So, anyways, that's a joke. But nice to see Debbie here with us today. And Debbie, we might be sitting here for a little bit, just going kind of into 11 a.m., 12 noon, even 1 p.m. So, let's see here. 3 minute, Chris. What's the song? Don't let me down, Chris. I don't want to start singing it. By the good old Beatles. You know, it's good to have some music that you know very lightly playing in the background. As long as it's not going to distract you from the charts. All right, so let me just talk out loud with you guys. So the NASDAQ bounced into that 3-hour demand area. I mean, brilliantly, and now it's rallying up. Okay. The same thing happened with the Russell. The ES is breaking things to the upside. Now, if that 12 noon candle closes the way that it could, then Chris, you technically you do have a higher time frame trade, a higher time frame probability to go long. And then kind of the same thing we're also seeing on the Dow Jones, technically. All right, hold on, Debbie. Let me see what she had to say. Good morning. Yes, Debbie. I should have called you. Still a fan of Panthers. Hopefully, I'll be back in Charlotte soon. Yes, absolutely. Drop us a line if you're in Charlotte. Oh, and try to. Well, I hate to say this, but if you're in Florida, you can see David Beckham's soccer team with Messi down there. That's a lot of fun. Or, I know you're a Carolina girl at heart, so sneak back up here and enjoy a little FC soccer game. It's always the best. I'm long to Q's and Google. Well, of course you are. I love that. Okay. So let's encourage gentle, good vibes out there for long trades. Anyone that is long the Nasdaq at this moment will trumpet that idea. Hopefully, it'll work out for them. Mm. I'm not. We're still focused on our game plan here. The only thing I will say about that is simply that you are bouncing off a daily demand zone on the Nasdaq. That is going on right now. So that's a good thing for anyone that's long a Nasdaq trade. Okay, so the Dow is providing you guys a signal. Sorry. I'll show you what I'm laughing at. I've refreshed and I put this, and when I refreshed this page and I just looked at it, it's like everything here is flat. It's like, it's basically flat, flat. Oh, the Dow wants to do something, and then flat right here. So I kind of thought that was funny. So some interesting technicals here. Those lows are being held. Markets are they're grinding up. They're going a little bit higher. 10-minute demand zone for NASDAQ people. Let's see, 9:30, 10:30. We're more than an hour in, so make sure intraday you are updating your homework. You're updating your lines if they need to be updated. sounds. Okay, well, actually, we might be getting that follow through that I wanted. Yeah, we already got it on the Russell. Let me just flip over. So, this was that Russell trade that we were talking about, like 30, 47, and now it's making its move. I went, I mean me, but Carlos, I missed that anticipation on the ES, so that's my fault. Let me see if I can't try to get in that. Dang it. I mean, I'm not too upset, but a good entry on the ES would have been like at 26. Okay, so we're 3 points below. The other problem about going short the ES is that it's got these it's got this weird looking like demand sitting right here. So like we don't have steps here, Carlos. So look, I would bypass the ES and instead I would have been putting more of my powers of focus here on the Russell. I mean, that's a good lesson. I'm not gonna, because there's nothing, you see, there's nothing here. I mean, you'd have to go back to the left a ways. I'm just not gonna do that right now. I already have it done on my other charts. Okay. So this is probably my trade of the day, and it happened around 1040 for someone to go short. May have a second chance on the Russell. Excuse me, on the ES. But really, out of everything here, I don't want to go short the Dow because there's too much pressure to the long side there. The ES kind of has it too. If I do choose to do this ES, it would just simply be a bad entry. And so I'd have to go to MES to justify it. And I'd only do like one contract on MES. Let me go back to MES. Good MES. You see, Anthony, if you're focused, I can't justify going short because as soon as I get short, now I'm running into this, and I'm running into this, I'm running into all this. So that's not good. Might be the right trade, but it's just not good. Okay. Versus if I did the Russell, see, like, there's nothing sitting here. Like, the Russell is the best chart to go short on. The Russell doesn't run into anything until you get to right here. And then, you know, really right here. So like 30.28 is that profit margin there. So that's 20 points. Here's the good news. We do kind of building like a drop-based drop up here. Later in the day, if it rallies to here, you can get short right there. Stop, it goes above somewhere, and then, you know, away you go. Let me know if that makes sense. Anthony, or Carlos, or whomever. And if you haven't taken a break yet, I actually would take a break right now. Just when I say a break, I mean like get up and walk, get some water, and then come back. Yeah, good, Carlos. Good, good. Got it. Yeah. So when we enter a trade, we're looking for that white space. Okay, that's really what I'm showing you. And the ES at this moment is not in a good area for it. Yeah. Or what's the path of least resistance, you know? So a good picture for you guys, let me just change this. Because we're looking for a trade to place today. That's really what we're trying to do here. And even though macro, like, it may be downward, this morning, it's showing us that it wants to go up. So it's showing us that, like, if this candle closes at 12 noon, remember, we don't know. If that thing closes at 12 noon, that's like a really strong indication that we can go up. And remember, it can continue to go up. So you need all day and into next day to cut through all this chop before you get to clear blue waters sitting up here somewhere. Okay. That exact same picture is starting to develop on the ES. Yeah. If this ES closes higher up, you can see you got clear blue waters sitting up top. Like, you don't have any really issues until 65. So 25 all the way up here to 65. Now, is that going to hit in a day? No. In a day, no. Most likely not. But it's what you have. So be rigid in your rules and then flexible in that expectation. So I might change stance on a lot of stuff if we get a 3-hour, you know, close. But right now, not at all. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we're going to the downside. All right. So what would be good for us is if it breaks this low, then if it can come, I would like it to break the low, clearing this out. Then I'll look to try to go short somewhere up here. Always trying to go short at a more expensive price. And then for the rest of the day for it to go down. That would kind of be the game plan. All right. But from 9:30, that's just kind of what we've been working with. So still, we don't have clear direction. Like, we don't have a green signal to go long or short. But as soon as it gets down here, it goes up. As soon as it gets up here, it goes down. So we really need to see stuff break. So be very patient, waiting for things to break today. Like, that was the word of the day, patience, spelled P-A-Y. Perfect. Hmm. Oh man, I'm looking back at my Dow chart. Wow. If I would have done that, that's annoying. That then. Yeah, I wouldn't. Man, I tell you what, this thing that well, the Dow's looking good on the 10 and the 30 minute. Make sure to update your lines. All right, Carlos, have a good day. Very good. Ciao. Hmm. So there you go. So this is the key as to why we always trade in the direction of the macro trend. Now, this morning it took a little bit of time to cut through it all, but now it's happening. And so Sorry, I was taking some notes here. The Russell has gone into a daily demand zone now. The Nasdaq has gone lower, and it's bounced through its higher time frame zones. So, really, actually, everything that we wanted is playing out. Let's utilize zone entries more, I think, right now to help us get in a high probability trade. Okay. So, like on the ES, it's actually sitting right here. I don't think I'm so interested in this. I think for this, I'm gonna let it come up more to the invalidation line. think I think that's what I would like to do. I need to take a note here. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so I really did hit that 5-minute supply zone. Well, I'm just finding it at this exact second hard to trade. Because the good trades that have happened are on the Russell. And we'll talk about that in the trading pod later today. So see you guys there. But yeah, when you miss the trade, you just miss the trade. So here's the Russell, and here's the trade that we'll talk about. That's the trade I was looking at. And then it gets filled at 1040. And we're down here. So one trade can make your whole day. Just always remember that. One trade can make your whole week. One trade can make your whole month. This morning, we had to go through this chop. And finally, right here, we finally got that trade. So now the problem with everything else, no, I'm just talking about an index trader, is that even though the Dow Jones does have signals to get you short, you're running into a bunch of junk. See, here's the ES. This is a 5-minute supply zone. Sure. But we got a bunch of junk sitting down here. Like, we need some commitment. Like, literally, on the ES, get rid of everything. Bring yourself back to 930. That's the market that you're looking at. So you just ask yourself, is that a good market to trade? And the answer is no, it's not. Let me see. So I changed myself to a 2-minute, and yeah, now we got some. From a 2-minute perspective, you have some trade ideas that are appearing from the flagship method, from flagship. I'm not going to see them on the 5-minute, and like I told you, I'm going to be more textbook right now, so I'm holding true to that 10-minute. So actually, there may not be a trade today, even though, yeah, I can go short. $5.41. No way. Man, you guys are gonna. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm thinking about trading the micro Dow Jones out of everything. Call to trade the micro Dow. The reason is because I like the way the 30-minute chart looks on the Dow. I just don't like the risk. And I'm not so late to the trade that I couldn't do it. There's a lot of sense in me that's telling me to do this thing, so. Alright, so I'm in the Dow short. Don't worry, that's not the target, in case you were having a minor meltdown. Hmm. Honestly, there's actually really no reason to be in this trade. But, I mean, I know there's high probabilities it's going to work. The target's at 53,300. I'm not going to stay in this. Just pay some commission. This trade is really, I'm not going to stay in that trade, even though it's fine. Shift. It's really this trade. By the time I decided to get in it, I mean, I was late to the party. That's just a mistake. So now I'm starting to notice I'm getting late to the party. Maybe I'm not focusing. I was just taking notes on a few things. But also 53,300 would be the target, and then the initial stop was up here. So I just wasn't, even though it's fine, I just didn't want to place that trade. Meaning, like, the reward risk ratio wasn't so great. It'd been more like a 2 to 1. And the reason is because I was late to it. So, well, there you go, Chris. I don't know if you're still here, but that 3 hour chart, that's why we always wait for the close of the candle. So that's really doing a great lesson plan for you today. And everything that we were thinking about today was 100 gazillion% correct. Just got chopped up a little bit this morning. That's the most important thing. If you can decide on which way the market's going to go for that big move, then you're good. Then you're really good. You just can't miss your entry. And right here, let me switch over to the Russell. So I'm not going to trade this. So if I'm going to trade something short, I'm going to go with the most biased short, like the one that has the most power to go down. And I can't do that with the Russell anymore because we're way down here. So basically, I've missed the trade. We'll talk about this in our trading pod for all the flagship members. As you guys know, we'll meet every day and go over the best trade. This is really the trade opportunity. And so when the market came back, come on now. Sorry, I'm just trying to manipulate this circle. Doesn't look like it wants to be manipulated. So when the trade came back to right here, that wick back up, that was the entry. But I wasn't on this chart. So what I'm finding in myself is I'm trading too many markets at one time, and I need to stop that. And I need to get more focus on just one or two markets. That's really it. And then once I pick that direction, I'm okay with this. This is still good. This is still working well. To stay with it. Like, not to be stubborn, but to stay with it. Because obviously I'm right. So today was all about shorts. I missed the trade on the Russell. That's me. So I'm going to write that in our notes, or I might put that in my report card. We're definitely going to be logging that trade. And then we'll talk about that more in the flagship room, in the pod today. So that's actually going to be really exciting to see, what you flagship members did, and really looking forward to the trading pod with you all to see, what you guys did. And Chris, if you're going to be in the trading pod today, I'd be interested in your take on the marketplace because of your questions earlier today. So big advantage to you all. Just because someone said it earlier. Yeah, I just could never see myself going long this market. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have been long it. And I'm talking about the NASDAQ. I was just looking at, maybe I missed something, I don't know. Here's the thing about the NASDAQ. It just bounced into daily demand, like deeper. And so now you're getting a bounce out of it. That doesn't mean that it's going to go rocketing up to the moon. However, if you were looking to be long, of course. So here we go. If you're looking to be long any of these markets, you want to go with the one that's not as bearish. And so that would have been the Dow. That's the Dow. But now the Dow Jones wants to rock and roll with everybody else. So when we were showcasing this trade idea, it was like right up in here. 53,441. But I didn't like my entry. So, I just made a little commission. I might call that Taco Bell money. But really that target is down here at the 53,300. So if you did, good job to anyone that got short the Dow, and if you decided to stay in it, I applaud you. Here, let me see if I can't actually applaud you for that. Is there a applaud button? I don't know. I hit that button. So I would actually applaud you for that. Only negatives that we're really seeing on the Dow is that it's that 3-hour area, and that's now actually the negative. I'm just catching up. I have to go. 11:15. I've got to go. Good day, folks. Okay, Chris. Adios. Sorry, I'm a little late to it. I shorted the Dow and the ES. Well, hey, Anthony, good job on that. Follow your rules on that. You're doing good. The only one I don't, well, I guess we'll talk about that more in a trading pod setting. No, but that's all good. There's nothing wrong with that short entry at all. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And I think we have a stream coming up on Friday. That one's going to be more textbook. I mean, we're going to really focus on textbook and not like 5-minute or XYZ volatility type of stuff. It's a nice job. Good trade. I mean, I see your trade right here. The scary thing about your trade is that it had to go through the chop of it. But the high probability was that the macro would keep you moving in the right direction. So you had that with you. My annoying thing about this is that it absolutely did if you go back and listen to the stream, you'll say, hey, gonna let it fill the gap on the Dow, and then we'll think about getting short. And me personally, I got a little short earlier before that, and now that I'm coming back and looking at it, here, I'll just show you really quick. Now that we're coming back and looking at it, I wanted to get short here, and then naturally the stop would be sitting above. Yeah, just by a little bit. But what I didn't want to do is risk 504 to 550 and some change. But the nice thing is it does go in, it fills it, it goes deeper, and then it closes correctly. And then right here, we're getting that follow through. So I think I just like answered myself, and yes, you are correct. I think for me, I'm just, analyzing myself from like a third party view. I think I'm just getting a little too quick on the trigger. That's really about it. Just because everything I say works, everything I say works. I'm thinking about the market correctly. I'm picking up on the macro trend. I can share that with you, but then when it comes to me actually doing it, I'm jumping around to too many markets, and I have you guys watching me, which is fun, but really I need to be more focused on this. So if this is your first time streaming with us, hey, we're only like 5 or I don't even think we're 5 streams in. So this is kind of a little bit like newer for me. I just wanted to produce these streams for free for anybody that's out there that has questions or this or that. And, you know, we can talk about it trading in the live markets in real time. And then for those of us that are a pit trader, you all get the extra benefits of everything. But anyways, you know all that. So if you are short, Anthony and anyone else, this current, like right now, I wouldn't give it much more room. I wouldn't give it much more room. Use your stop management protocol. And I'd probably be getting stopped out on the ES right now using your stop management protocol. And then the same thing, I didn't like the picture that I saw on the Dow Jones. I didn't like that picture. And now, you know, let's kind of have a conversation. I'm willing to have a conversation with you guys. There's 5 of us here. I don't know if you guys can type in, but we know that the macro chart is down. Okay, we know that. But now we're getting buy signals, right? Technically speaking, you could, if you wanted to, you could go long. And you know, you can make more money, right? So like you made money going down. I'm just putting on the Dow Jones chart. You made money going down, and now the market is actually turning. It's actually telling you, hey, you can make some money if you want to go back up. That's what it's saying. Let me do the Russell. The Russell's a little bit cleaner. Okay. And you got a nice doji there. You know, respect the power of the doji. You know. What does a doji mean? Type that into the chat, and then we'll circle back. And I'm just doing this for the people other people that are with us, talking this out loud to you. Well, what does a doji mean? And I'll give you guys just a second to answer that. All right. Let's check you guys out. I hope I got an answer. What does a doji mean? Let's hope. No, nobody wanted to answer. Oh, Anthony, I should tar and feather you. I'm expecting you to answer, Anthony. No, stop smiling over there where you are. I just have this sense he's laughing at me. Okay, so a doji means this exactly. That's what it means. It just means, oh my, Debbie from Sunnyside. Debbie, you know what you get, Debbie, today? Because you answered before a pit trader. Debbie, you get 1 glass of Chardonnay. Whatever you want. Okay? Very good. Indecision. So, for some of you out there, you don't know this, but one candle read the right way can tell you everything that you need to know about the market. So, like right now, we know that the macro trend is oh my, dark and stormy there, Debbie. Dark and stormy. Well, that would be the wrong spirit. That would be the wrong spirit. All right, fine. Maybe a sour. Okay. Man, you know your libations here. All right. Well, I leave that to you. You're much wiser in that realm than I am. Get ready for something. All right. Yeah. So a doji, hey, like right here, let me just kind of circle it for you. Okay. Always start seeing these candles as one or two ways. All right. And Vivi, I don't know if you're in this room, but I'm kind of doing this for you. Let me just get rid of snapping mode here. I don't know why this thing doesn't want me to work right. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, work. Let's see. Let me just fix it really quick. Yeah, so a doji really showcasing indecision, right? Very good. So one or two things can happen here. One, it's indecisive. It's indecisive right now. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Does it want to keep going down or does it want to keep going up? So for somebody that's short, and especially if you had a lot of meat to it or if the trade was heavy, you don't want to see indecision. You want to see big red candles going down. But if you're using your stop management protocol, and I'm saying it like that for a reason, then these are little spikes that could potentially stop you out actually. Okay. So a doji candle, one candle can tell you everything you need to know about the market. Right now it's indecisive. Sorry, I'm looking at something. If I ever stop talking, you can kind of like tell I like something. Damn it, I swear. $36 from 32. Just kind of wonder if I missed the entry. That's what I'm wondering about. Sorry, I kind of paused here. I'm looking at the Russell. I'm seeing this movement, and it's allowing me to get short. Actually, for us flagship members, you could already be short this, and really, it's on the 5-minute. But like I said, I won't use the 5-minute, so I'm leaving the 5-minute alone. But anyways, there is a nice short. The problem about the Russell right now is that basically the invalidation line of demand, daily demand, is at 30.19. And I want to get short this market. My stop would be right up there, and my target would be like at 30.20. That's actually the trade, and I really want to do this right now. But the trade I found was on the 5-ish, and also the entry is actually sitting up here at 34. So I can't justify being 2 points late. That's a really bad trade. So I can't do it. The high is at 36. So meaning like I entry at 34, stop at 36. That's only 2 points. That's a good trade. That's a good trade. And so we'd already be 2 points up right now. I can't justify wanting to enter and risking way too much. I just can't do that. So, but I'll probably talk about it in the trading pod. And the reason this trade popped up to us, let's see what time this is, 11:30. So I'll talk about that there. It's because of this candle right here, this indecisive candle. It was saying, hey, something is going on here. I'm like, okay. So, anyways, takeaway, Debbie, everyone, is sometimes one candle can tell you everything you need to know about the market. Okay. me just drop this to a daily so you can kind of see, like, that's not for buying, people. Like, if you ever thought about buying today, yeah, that was not a good idea. And, this is where we're headed, 30-20, right there. You can see it's already in um, the daily, like, demand area, but we're really actually headed here. So for me, that's the trade. Like, I want to get short, and I'll stay short until we get a little bit before this area. That's kind of the idea that I was producing for myself. I'm not telling you whatever you did buying or selling was right or wrong. It's just, I wouldn't have done it. On the daily chart of the Nasdaq, just because someone said that earlier, like, I just can't see or justify a reason to be hitting the buy button here. Maybe if it's like a super long-term trade, maybe. I mean, if we go back and look at 930, we have chop, and then we have a high. Now here comes the key point. We break a low. So that entire structure has changed, and now we're going down. We're not going up. Then we have a lower high, and then we have a lower low. That's that confirmation that we really are going down. Then we have a lower high, and then even more of a lower low. So unless this person or whoever you are, anybody really, like, this is not a this is not like a market to go long in. Instead it's a market to go short in. But we're all a little bit different, so see. And your goal as a trader should be to find the big swing and trade in that manner. Or, like, if you're at the ocean trying to ride a wave, find the wave and then ride with the wave. But there are some people out there that are just psychedelic, and they can counter trend trade, and they love counter trend trading. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that counter trend trading makes up about 80% of your losses. So if I know that counter trend trading is gonna not work the best for me and actually hinder me from getting to where I want to go, then naturally I actually just kind of stay away from it, just naturally. Like, I have a real aversion to it. The only time I do counter trend trading is if I had like a higher power on my side. And for those of you that are in flagship, you should know what that means. Chop, chop, chop. Yay. Okay, good, good, good. Unless you're scalping as support. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, all many different ways to oh man, I don't even want to say that. I was gonna say skin a cat, but I don't like saying that because cats are nice. We like cats. Many different ways of participating in the market. It's got to go back to your trade plan. But different trade plans have different probabilities. Okay, well, man, see, now in my head I'm thinking, oh, I'm boring people. Oh, no, good trading is actually boring. Mm-hmm. So don't be surprised right now if you do get a nice bounce to the upside. I mean, that wouldn't really like surprise me so much. So if you were thinking about being a buyer, you know, again, the Dow is just probably the worst market to be looking at. The ES also one of the worst markets to be looking at. So then that just leaves you the NASDAQ and the Russell. And you guys know I won't even look at the NASDAQ. So that means I only have the Russell to look at, right? Like that's it. And I'm completely fine with that. I think come these next following up streams, we may, because we're going really deep into summertime now, we may actually not look at the indexes so much. We may actually start looking more at natural gas or even some currencies. Because actually currencies are pretty fun to trade. Maybe we might look at wheat or corn because it is during the summer. And that would actually make sense for us. Let me just get rid of this. So I'm looking at natural gas at the moment. And like that's a nice picture. Like that thing's going down. This is a weekly chart, right? In the daily chart, got a little chop action. So really, like if you want to go short this, probably be around like 2.8. So gotta leave this kind of more on our radar. Just to, hey, 2.8, somewhere up here. Somewhere up here, this would be a better idea to go short. So, might have to wait. Nothing wrong with waiting. Remember, the markets are just a transference of the impatient to the patient. So we always want to be meditating on, am I following my process? Am I flexible in my expectation, but am I rigid in my rules? And then lastly, you know, am I being patient enough to follow my trade plan? And if the answer is yes, then you're doing really, really good. So that's natural gas. Might look at that later. Might look at that later. And then we got some awesome currencies that we could start to look at as well. Okay. But as we go deeper into the summer months, these indexes should kind of cool off in a way. Be careful about Wednesday, even though the minutes are coming out. You could see a little jostling, right? You could see a little jostling. So just be careful on Wednesday if you are going to trade. And then one other thing, I'm just going to quickly check. Just went back to Yahoo Finance, see if there's anything prickly out there. Oh, you know, maybe you go and look at gold, but of course, you know, be careful with gold. It's just kind of volatile, but yeah. All right. Well, anyways, today's trade was really the sell short trade. Yep. Could have done the gap and the fill on the Dow. Would have worked for you. Be careful in this summer months with everything chopping. Kind of wait a little bit longer to find that direction. And then the second good trade for us was on the Russell today. And we'll talk about this one in the trading pod because that's textbook. Takeaways, don't jump on so many different markets. Takeaways, it is important to recognize the happy family that we call the bears, the happy, you know, family of bears, and how they kind of like work together and how to trade them successfully. But when you decide on what you're going to trade, like Anthony here, you know, just stick to it. So if you're going to trade the Dow and the ES, you know, that's beautiful. I love it. And just stick with it. And then other than that, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot going on, I think, today. No, not a whole lot going on. You know, this 5-minute supply area, your entry was right there. And then you got down to right here. And now the market is kind of like jostling, going back up. But as it goes back up, it's going to run into all this up here. So the market's just trapped now. Now the market's trapped. So really you're looking at a sideways market now. That's what you're running into. I mean, the bias of it is downward, sure, but I don't want to be sitting here all day long having to navigate the market in such a way that I don't get crushed by the cars coming the other way. That's kind of how I see this. Now, some people thrive on that, and that's completely fine. I'm just not that type of person. So it's 11:51. Anyone have any questions or thoughts? Feel free to write into the chat. And if not, pretty good day today. Pretty, well, all right day. I would say all right day. Okay, I'll kind of leave that lingering, thought question out there for you. All right, well, I guess we will start to end this down, which is saying, hey, it's another day in paradise. If you are trading Wednesday, just remember it could get a little chop action. And I do believe our next stream is on Friday. See if we can't conquer this market on a Friday. We'll have a little bit of fun. So far, everything is completely a-okay, and we're just moving through the markets as we will. Just, again, remember it's summer, and so weird things can kind of happen. Always play defense first. Good defense, or excuse me, great defense wins championships, and then make sure that you're rigid in your rules. So wait for that textbook play, whatever that is for you, defined by your house, whatever that is for you, and then stick with it. Just be flexible that the market may be changing. And if the market's changing, then absolutely make sure you do change along with it. And other than that, that's really it. You guys are beautiful people. I love you all. I hope you have a great day. And then we'll see you again very, very soon. Okay, everybody, have a great day.